a damn good question. That's funny. I hope the guy's listening to the show. And, I mean, his name is Frank.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, it'd be funny if he calls me up and says, I actually ask him, what do you use, and what do you use a 7-inch blade for?
Yeah.
And you wear it's meant to be held in like on the belt.
Hey, Carl, that's for cutting a pound of flesh.
Yeah. But if you're off by one hair, or one iota, above one, the pound of flesh, then you're liable for damages.
And no blood.
Yeah, you could only get the pound of flesh. You could only get due, not 1 ounce more. No, not 1 ounce less. You could only get what's due. So you better be careful when you cut that pound of flesh. But yeah, see, that's what's good, man. And I'm glad I'm able to get you guys to. I mean, people are like studying the regicides trial, and people are actually, even if you're not reading it, at least you're watching the movie The Merchant of Venice, and you're starting to get what's going on in those movies. Start to follow what the significance is. What Bacon was trying to teach you folks. Okay, Shakespeare, whoever. Yeah, I'll give you Shakespeare. Whoever Sir Francis Bacon. He was the guy who wrote it. Him and his friends wrote all those things. And the trial of the regicides, that was a fantastic trial as well, because only one person was able to get his filings recorded. So God bless that attorney, because I wouldn't have known how to do that. I would have just like all the other people who were members of Parliament who weren't recorded, didn't know how to require the court for leave so they could answer it properly. And he said that poor guy Dennis from Indiana. I said, look, man, you've got to answer the court in writing. Every single thing you do in court, it's got to be in writing. I said, especially if the judge doesn't think that you're smarter than him. Thank God, man. When I'm talking to the judges, the way I explain it to them, if they don't know what I'm saying, I'll explain it to them 2-3 times as nicely and as gently as I can, and then I'll say, you know what? I don't think you still fully understand what I'm saying. Why don't you read it out of your own book? Like the last time I was in trial for myself, I said, maybe you should read it out of your book. What book? Your book. The Code of Virginia, 1975? Code of Virginia, 1950. The Code of Virginia, 1950. Alabama's Code of 1975. So why don't you read it out of your own book? And then he was looking for it. He read it. Said, no, that's the legal. Okay, now read the law. Read the top. Read the bottom of the page. Read the footnote. He says, oh, it's lawful what you did. Yes, it is. It's totally legal what I did. Totally. I said, I told you when I walked in here I was guilty. I told you what I did was illegal. I said, I told you I did 5,872 illegal things on the way to court today, and I'm going to do 9,673 illegal things on the way home. Leave a rat behind. How do I care if it's legal? I said, but it's not. It's lawful. I said, it actually says that in your own book, doesn't it? He said, well, it does. I guess this case is dismissed. I said, no, it's discharged. Well, I'll explain to you the difference between dismissed and discharged. I ain't got time to teach you that. I said, I have to teach you legal and lawful. Now, whether you actually understand that is beyond me, and I don't care. But like I said, so when you go to court, you have to have their own book in front of them. You have to be able to throw their own book at them and say, what does that say? Wow, it's lawful. That's right. But over here it says it's illegal. That's right. So I guess there's a difference, isn't there? Oh, I guess there is. And you need me to do what for you, sir? What more do you require this court need of me, sir? Wow, I guess they got no case against you. No, they never did, sir. I told you people everything I do from the second I step out of my threshold and into the public venue is illegal. There is nothing I do in the public that is legal. Why? So that way I'm going to have happy day. I'm not going to be stressed out wondering, oh my God, I wonder if what I'm doing right now is legal. Oh my God, I guess I should worry about. You know what? I think it's illegal to do that. I think that's behind. I remember doing that in court one time in the lobby. It was fun. Talking to a prosecuting attorney and my sister. I said, oh wow. I said, that's a prosecuting attorney. Let me go ask him some questions while you're standing here. So I said to the guy, I said, hey, I got a easy question. My sister's wondering the difference between legal and lawful. I said, maybe you could help her out. And he was like, okay. So that poor guy, man. And within 10 minutes, I had like 6 or 7 deputies surrounding me and him and my sister, because they would walk by and they're like, uh-oh, this guy is saying, but by what authority would a deputy or a sheriff or anybody have the right to put their hands on me if I'm standing here in the middle of the street singing show tunes, or if I'm walking on buck naked, or, you know, who would have the authority to touch me? If I'm enjoying whatever little time I got left on planet Earth in whatever manner I choose, who's to say what's right and what's wrong? Who died and left you my daddy? So funny, him saying, well, you know, well, society's got to be what society? I'm not a member of your society. Who said that I have to be a member of your society? Am I in a public venue? Yes. Am I under your domestic authority? Yes. But then I'm a guest here, right? Yes. And if I'm a guest, then you have to accept and understand my certain peculiarities and my certain customs and traits that I bring from outside of your society that I'm not aware of. And you've got to treat me as a guest. You can't hold me liable, can you? So funny watching all the deputies when I started to prosecutor, man. Deputies all started to stop and listen. Like, uh-oh, is this prosecutor in trouble? It sounds like he doesn't know how to answer this guy. What's this guy going on about? It was funny. It started to get a crowd. And I said, if one of these deputies touched me, what could I do? He said, can I hold them liable? He's like, oh, no, they're doing their job. Oh, really? And their job is to touch a man, you know, who's just expressing himself, who's just freely expressing himself. Well, you know, we got to have some sort of control over society. So what? We should all be like in shackles and chains, and we should all carry ID chips, and we should all, you know, what should we do? We should all drive computer cars, and computers should take us where we can go, and the government will tell us when we can't travel. Is that what would make you happy? So everybody's under total control at all times, under total surveillance. Would that make you happy? Just a level of control would satisfy you in your society. Well, what would you people like? Would you like us to all live in pods? And you know, what would you like? What would you like to see of a man? What would you require? It was so funny, just going down. I love just doing what if with the legal society. It's like they're having brain farts when they're trying to answer. They don't know how to answer it. Because it sounds all plausible and justifiable. It's just like, well, let's be reasonable about this. It's like a whole bunch of little old ladies saying, well, let's be reasonable about this. If we have rock and roll in society, you know, that's going to lead to dancing at past 9 o'clock at night. And you know, and people are going to start shaking their hips, you know, and we can't have that. It's like, yeah, I guess that's what they said about minuets and waltzes when those things first started popping out, you know, in 1603. I guess they said, well, we can't have minuets, you know. Look at that, it's 3/4 time. That's the devil's music. We gotta stick with 4/4 time. 3/4 is the devil's beat. If anybody studied music, they would know what I'm talking about and realize how the Catholic Church went bananas when I heard 3/4 music. So that's the end of society as we know it in modern times. It's funny, man, when you read books from like the 1500s, 1600s, they write, in these modern times. You're like, what? Modern what? Oh, we had to rub 2 sticks together. No, that's right, we use flintlocks now. Oh, okay. We use flintlocks and straw. Oh, yeah, we're way past rubbing 2 sticks together to create fire. Oh, good. That's good to hear. Now that we've got the modern flintlock. And that's special. We create a spark, and it only takes us 10 minutes to make our fire now in these modern times. But it's so funny how every society believes they're living in the modern times, that they're the end-all, the be-all, and their opinion and their rules and their belief in law should go without question. It should go unchallenged. Because any question or any challenge to their 1099 beliefs or 1602 beliefs will lead to pandemonium, chaos, and mayhem, and society will disintegrate off the face of the earth as they know it. So it was funny. I was talking to Jason today, and his mom's got some massive pancreatic cancer, but they got that lovely old English healthcare, and she was feeling ill in August. And the doctor said, well, we'll set you up for some cancer tests in December. So when December came, she was still feeling ill, but they told her, well, we're kind of really busy right now. We're kind of backed up, so I guess we'll hold the cancer tests in February. So what's she going to do? You know, they're good little Brits. So they just say, okay, we'll just suck it up and take it. So then they called her up sometime, and they said, we can't do February, but we could do next August. So it was going to basically be a year before she got to see a specialist. So he said earlier this week his mom had meeting for a couple of days, and they were getting worried about her, so they brought her to the hospital, and now she's got like massive pancreatic cancer. And but like I said, that's because they're good little Brits. And just because they say they can't have services, they just accept it. And they just say, okay, you know what? You know, don't want to buck the system. You know, everybody has to wait in line. Everybody has to, you know, die on schedule. You know, we don't want to cause any commotion over here. We want to stay proper and keep a stiff upper lip and, you know, just take what the government tosses us. So he was talking about all kinds of alternative cures. And I said, see, this is what I'm saying. I said, you guys are missing the problem what you guys got going on here. It's not alternative cures. It's like, wait a second, like I was going on about last week about what's the benefit of being a citizen of a government? What's the benefit of being a member of a family when your family won't support you, when your family won't take care of you, when your family won't provide what you need? Not what you want, but your family, like I always say to everybody in my family, I've never given anybody just a gift. Like I've never just given anybody something that they wanted. I've always given them what they needed. Now that's what you should get from your government, because in time of need, when they get ready to go to war, when they get time to go to, you know, when they go into Syria and Iraq, they're going to call up onto the citizens and say, okay, you people are going to tighten up your belts, you're going to pay more in taxes, and you're going to get rationed, and we're going to call up your sons and daughters to go fight, to go kill other people for us on our behalf. Because we in the government think it's best for you to go over there right now and just lay down your lives. So we can stay home here, and we can tell you people what to do. Because the people over there, they pissed us off. So go lay down and die for us. Oh, wait a second, I said to him, I said, how come you people in England take that? And he says, well, the government always says that we don't have any money. I said, well, I'm sure they got a vested interest in the Channel. I'm sure there's a vested interest in that London Bridge. I'm sure they have a vested interest in Big Ben of the House of Parliament. I'm sure they got a vested interest in a lot of those buildings. I said, why don't you tell them to sign them, to sign off on them? Why don't you tell them to sell them to the Chinese, or tell them to sell them to some Arabian folks? Tell them to come up with the money. I said, watch how fast when you tell them, hey, you know what? Wait a second. We're citizens, yeah. We're members of a family, yeah. Well, if my child was ill, don't you think I'd give up everything I've got to see that my child would get better? What kind of dad would I be? That I'd say, well, I'm not going to sell my motorcycle. I'm certainly not getting rid of my car. And I'm certainly not getting rid of my child. And I'm certainly not getting rid of my London Bridge. To save you. I was like, what? So what should we do, Dad? Oh, just throw the kid under the bus. Let the kid take the loss. We can't save them all. Really? So what kind of fearless leader are you? You're a fearless leader that just says, oh, throw the kids under the bus? No, you're supposed to go under the bus. You're supposed to lead. You're supposed to show us how to go under the bus. You're supposed to be the one who's supposed to be, you know, in pain and suffering. Why are we? I never see when in time of war the President of the United States goes out to the front line or lives in a little hut somewhere. I never see him living in a tent. I never see him say, you know what, I'm getting out of the creature comforts of the White House, or I'm coming out of 10 Downing Street, and I'm going to live in a tent in my backyard to show the troops I'm there with them. And maybe I'm not there with them physically, but I'm with them in spirit. See, me and my whole family, we're living in a tent. And what I'm trying to explain to my family, this is what our troops are living through. This is how the boys up in the front are living through. They're living out in the rain. They're living out there in the snow and the heat. They're living out there without running water. So I'm going to show my family, and I'm going to show the whole world that this is what I'm going to do. No three-piece suits and ties, no airport limousine runs. No, we're gonna do it just like the troops do. We're gonna transport my family in jeeps, and we're gonna hike 20 miles a day for our food. So, you know, we're gonna lead by example, not by rhetoric. So that's why I said, poor Jason, I said, I can't believe you English people tolerate that kind of behavior from your family or your dad. Why would you look up to him as your dad and say, you know what? Why won't he help support his family? Why is he a deadbeat? Why is he not taking care of your mom? You know, I thought your mom was a citizen of England. Why isn't they taking care of her? Why are they letting her down? So I was trying to get him off the topic of alternative medicines because honestly, I don't know, man. I really don't know what to recommend people with alternative medicines. There's tons of shows for that. But what I can say to people is like, you got to stop this from happening again. How do you prevent the government from saying, well, you know what, we just ain't got any money, stand in line? Oh, really? Don't you own that tower over there? Don't you own the tower in London? Yeah, don't you own that big bell inside of that don't you own Big Ben? Can't you, you know, maybe the Chinese will buy the bell? You know, maybe we could sell something here and provide for the people in need who really deserve it. I said, why are you tolerating this shit? I said, it's like last week on my show. I said, there's a Jewish guy in Pakistan. He's held, you know, as a hostage in Pakistan. He came on TV, like I think CNN, I don't know if it was CNN or Fox News, put him on their station on Christmas Day. I was watching the news, and this poor guy's like, hey, you know what, the United States government asked me to come over here and do contracting work, whatever it was, and now they abandoned me over here. And they said, well, we don't negotiate with terrorists. Well, let me see. How dare, like, Papa or Reagan or Papa Obama or Papa Carter or Papa anybody, I'm the Papa of the Lentzes. Now I'm telling you, if you were holding my kid hostage, I would negotiate with you until my tongue fell out of my head. I would do everything it took to get my child home. What do you want from me? Well, I want all your money, I want this, I want... Dude, you got it. It's yours. Just don't hurt my kid. Or not only that, don't hurt my kid. You could take me as hostage, but let my kid go. So if you don't want to negotiate with terrorists, Mr. Reagan, like he was the one who quoted that nonsense, why don't you go sit over there and be a hostage, and maybe they'll swap? Did you offer them to swap? Because if you're the dad, you're more than willing to lay down your life and go onto the bus or trade places with the women and children. Now, I'd love to hear them come up with an excuse why they couldn't do that. Well, you know, I'm more valuable to society than that person is. Oh, really? And what makes you more valuable? I thought we were all equal here. Are you saying that some of us are more equal than others in America? I thought you were a public servant. I thought you were here to serve us. Now, isn't that a member of the public that's being held hostage over there? It's like, okay, fine, it's a Muslim country, and okay, fine, he's Jewish, and okay, fine. They might have more than one reason why they're keeping that guy. But still, if he's an American citizen, obviously he's not like what they would call like a super, like, you know, like somebody who's really Hebrew who believes there's only one nation, you know, and they're not a citizen but of one nation. So obviously if he's calling himself a U.S. citizen, well then obviously, you know, he believes in being in, he's more, what do I call that, he's more, oh man, it begins with the letter S, but I'll think of it in a minute. But he's more, he's not so wrapped up with the religion. So, but like I said, why can't they negotiate? Why can't they try to say, well, what do you require of us to let one of our members of our family come home? What do you need from us? Secular, that's the word. He's more secular. And he actually believes that he's a member of the United States. He's a citizen of the United States. He's secular. He's not so wrapped up with, well, you know, no Jewish or Hebrew person truly believes that they're a member of a nation, under the nation of God, or whatever, that they believe in like that. That they only hold an allegiance and duty to oath just to one. They can't hold multiple allegiances. So he's obviously he's more of a secular, you know. But anyway, like I said, Jason, that's the underlying problem. Is why can't you guys understand that if they expect stuff from you as a citizen, why can't you expect things from them? And like I said, now if you want to say, like I signed up to go in the military, my wife went bananas, and because they said it was going to take me 18 months to be trained. after basic training, I was going to have to go to school. It was going to take me 18 months before I was permanently stationed somewhere. And she said she'd wait, 6 weeks and 18 months. She ain't doing it. So I said, fine. I said to the guys, look, you can't give me what she could give me, can you? And I brought her up to meet them. They're like, no, she's a cutie. I said, that's right. I said, you can't possibly give me what she can. So I think I'm going to have to go for her. I'll take door number one. Sorry, guys, but I wanted to bring her up to you to show you that's why I'm not going in, because would you pass this up? And they were like, nope, I don't blame you. So there you go. So that worked out pretty good for me. But I was talking to like Jimmy Lynn and them, saying, look, the people in the military who put 4 years, who are willing to pick up a gun and stand on a wall and defend us, obviously they should be treated, like rock stars or heroes. That they were willing, even if they didn't have to do it, they were willing to do it. And obviously those people have the, there should be more of a stipulation of how you get to be a voter in this country. And one of them should be you serve in the military. Because you're willing to die. You want to die for your family.